Hello everyone, Scott here again. Welcome back to the Guilty Pleasure Cinema. Celebrating the movies you're embarrassed to love. We're celebrating the year of adventure. Forgive the gun here. And we're almost done. I'd hoped that Quartermain would have been able to help me find the lost episodes. We still have a problem with that, but we're running out of time. We gotta move forward, and I gotta be honest, I have no idea where this thing came from. I mean, this, I know this. I planned it out. It's a gun. We got that. We got the cowboy hat today because we're going to look at a very simple action-adventure movie. If you remember from last time, I teased it saying it's a movie that has cowboys and aliens in it. There's a good reason for that, because today we're going to look at Cowboys and Aliens. So what is this movie? Cowboys and Aliens. It's a full-fledged Western with Daniel Craig, James Bond himself, as a drifter, a loner. He's got no memory and a strange device on his arm. And the movie goes along with him trying to figure that out. And Harrison Ford comes in as this colonel who doesn't like him for whatever reason. He's not even sure himself. Ford knows, but he doesn't know. And just when that's really ramping up, aliens show up. Full-fledged, outer space, advanced technology, aliens. But what is this movie? Cowboys and okay, I'll stop. It is an Old West, Western. 100% old-fashioned, through and through. Almost dry for the sake of being it. And, well, 95%. Because he's got this gauntlet-y thing that he doesn't figure out, but shoots and makes people explode. So it's this confident, regular, almost normal, almost Western, with Daniel Craig being awesome. He's fresh off being the new Bond here. And it's all based off this graphic novel from Platinum. Now, Platinum was established with movies in mind. They were really seeing this as a property, as a movie from day one. The graphic novel was basically, hey, see how cool this is? You want to make a movie, right? You know me, 100% yes, I'm up for concepts like that. Advanced technological aliens in the Old West? Sign me up. Now, I got the graphic novel. I pre-ordered it the moment it was announced, and I got it, and I'm happy with it. It's awesome. I don't know where it is. If you've seen The Indicator's Throne, back from last anniversary, yeah, I don't know where he put it. Can't find it. I can find everything else, but not it. But when they announced that Jon Favreau was going to be directing it as his follow-up project after Iron Man 1 and 2, okay, put in the new James Bond fresh off Casino Royale. Okay, put in one of the greatest action stars ever in Harrison Ford. Okay, this keeps getting better and better. And not only that, but it's this awesome, simple concept of cowboys and aliens. It's a play on cowboys and Indians, but the idea of what would happen if aliens showed up back in the Old West is not exactly a foreign concept that you need to be a nerd, sci-fi geek type to appreciate. Because everyone knows the Old West. Everyone knows about alien invasion type stuff. What if Independence Day happened in 1800s? There you go. Concept achieved. And put Universal behind it with a big budget, an awesome effects, story, character focused director, great stars. Okay, did you see that? Was that this thing? Okay, what was I saying? Okay, so the Cowboys were cowboying it up. And then the aliens... Ah! This is really starting to weird me out. Okay, let's move on. So what went wrong? Some people say it was too much of a Western. Cowboys. All right. Some people say it was a bit too sci-fi. Aliens. That's the thing. A lot of people were complaining that basically it was a great Western and then this dumb sci-fi stuff showed up. And a lot of people, like, that's half of the responses of the complaints. The other half of the complaints were it was a boring Western until the alien stuff showed up and the sci-fi made it better. Do you understand why both of those are really stupid? The whole point of this is to establish itself as a regular, lived-in Western world. Old West through and through. And then you put sci-fi in it. You need to have the cowboys for the aliens. You know what it boils down to? It boils down to one missing thing from what I've been saying. Cowboy fans hated the aliens. Alien fans hated the cowboys. You know what they're all forgetting? It's really small there, but see a little ampersand in there? And. It's cowboys and aliens. It's a Western with sci-fi. It's a sci-fi in a Western. What were you expecting when you went in? Really? To go in there complaining that there's too much of a Western and it's boring and slow. That's, forgive me, but that's what Westerns are. They're deliberately paced. They're very character driven. The conflict is oh so basic and simple. It's distilled down to basically, I have a gun and I don't like you, and you have a gun and you don't like me. We're going to solve this. That's really how a lot of them pan out. And the fact that doing this and shooting is also easy and cheap. The bad guys are just, they could do it nilly-willy and they don't care. Because it's the Old West, the Wild West. The lawman is rare and tries to keep things in, but it's called wild for a reason. So the good guys don't draw their guns regularly because that's the low, cheap, easy way to do it. That makes for a slow, deliberate movie. And some people love those. I mean, I like Westerns. Unforgiven's fantastic. Pale Rider. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We can keep going here. They're good. But they're slow and deliberate. And you gotta know what you're getting into when you get into that. That's one half of the movie and a third of the title. The other part where people said it was a great Western, and then this dumb alien sci-fi stuff showed up. You know what I have to say about that? It's not called Cowboys and marketed without any aliens to make you think, I'm going to go watch a Western today, and suddenly, oh look, a spaceship. You shouldn't be surprised by the fact that there's aliens in this, because that is the other third of the title. The main third that both parties forget about is the and. It's cowboys and aliens, and it works so well, because it was a decent, although, let's get this straight here, a very run-of-the-mill, by-the-numbers, pedestrian Western. It wasn't anything to write home about. But it was really better than a lot of Westerns had been in a long time, which was to its benefit, because it worked as its own. It was good enough that if they just kept it being a Western with these characters and this setup, ignoring whatever this thing was, people would have been fine with it and loved it. Okay? That's how good that was. But it's Cowboys and Aliens. They did that good, to make the alien stuff work that much better when you get the other parts of it. Anybody who said they ruined my Western, guess what? You're only a third of the title with Cowboys. There's also and aliens. Okay. You saw that, right? That was a thing. That was a thing. This is a thing. There's no time. Okay, we got to figure this thing out. There's no time. What was there to like? It was a great, awesome Western. It was a great, awesome sci-fi. It was a great, awesome combination. It was Cowboys and Aliens. It really pulled it off. It was befitting of awesome effects and look and everything, befitting of the Iron Man director and Iron Man 2 director, Jon Favreau. It's what you expect from him. Even some of the sounds of the blaster thing, it kind of sounded Iron Man-like, so that was kind of cool. Daniel Craig was awesome and amazing and made you care from the moment you saw him. He looks like he belongs in a Western. And a lot of people were like, I want to see a Daniel Craig Western. That would be good. Harrison Ford is Harrison Ford, and if you don't like him, get out. He's amazing. He's awesome. This is the kind of movie he should have been in for the past 10 years prior. It really helped return to form for him. It was a great role and a great part for him to really come back to things. And it's already been years since. Now we just have Star Wars finally, so it's kind of crazy how that worked out. Olivia Wilde is as something I'm not going to say. She's also in there, the love interest. Well, you go with that. But she's great in there, and her role kind of twists and plays with things really well as well. Altogether, they do a great job. And the performances are fantastic, considering that this is such a crazy idea. It's Cowboys and Aliens. It's based on a comic book. How much more specific of goofy do you want to get? Really, in that they took this thing seriously. They sold it. Every single person in the cast, the director, the tone, Universal, who made it, they were all behind this thing 100%. And it's all too easy to see a movie like this get phoned in or just done cheaply. Like, it's astonishing that this was done at this level and with this competence and dedication and care. It was definitely a success, but it wasn't a huge blockbuster by any stretch. $36 million opening weekend to edge the first Smurfs movie by $800K. $100 million total overall. Think back, Transformers: Age of Extinction did 100 in the weekend. Deadpool did 150. Okay, that was a 4-day, 130 in this week. That was its total. Okay, 174 worldwide total, all against a $163 million budget. You can just hear the studio getting gun-shy after something like that. And it's another situation of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, which actually did half the business it did. But this thing cost more money than it made back at all, and that's before marketing was included. It is a simple concept. Cowboys and Aliens. That's distilled to its most basic. I can tell anybody that title, and they know what it's about. It's akin to Snakes on a Plane, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or something like that. It falls in exactly with that kind of thing. You shouldn't have to explain it, but that might be the problem because it's too specifically silly. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, as basic a title as it is, sounds ridiculous. And awesome, but you get the idea. So Cowboys and Aliens, Snakes on a Plane, these don't sound like serious movies. So people don't take them seriously. Not that you're supposed to take something called Cowboys and Aliens seriously. The movie will let it do that. It is very Pacific Rim-like in that it knows what it is, but treats itself proper. Okay? So, it's frustrating that a movie that simple, that basic, that well executed, and that well done. This movie, Universal pulled out the big guns. Okay, I got a weird pain now. It's kind of familiar though. Weird. Something that's all new and familiar at the same time. Funny that's what this was. With risk versus reward that should have pulled it off. And it's a shame that it didn't. Because this is a great, fun movie. It is exactly what it says it is in all three of its ways. Cowboys and Aliens. It has style and charm and heart and makes you care and is kind of terrifying at times, but action-packed. It's Cowboys and Aliens. Its stars are great. Its looks is great. are great, is great. It's great! And it's a shame because this movie is just going along, doing its thing like any AAA, big budget Hollywood blockbuster should. And it almost got beat by Smurfs. I know people like that, but come on! We want originality, and the Smurfs movie goes in its stead. You see my point here? It's frustrating because movies like this are guilty pleasures at their core, and yet this is AAA blockbuster amazing stuff. We should be celebrating and embracing movies like this. This movie just goes along with Daniel Craig being the cowboy until it gets derailed. Okay, no, we're done. We're done. Fine. This stupid thing is doing whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but I gotta figure it out. That's Cowboys and Aliens. And those are the lost episodes. They're there, but they're back, and they're... Oh, God, they've been seated back in time to where they belong, which means I must have figured something out and sent them there. Because that's how time travel works well. That means it is up to 100 officially, 100% for the real deal. 100%. 100th episode. 4th anniversary. So what's on tap? Well, I have a plan. Part of a plan. 12% of a plan. Something good. Something bad. Bit of both. It's a guilty pleasure movie that people really embraced and cherished and loved. And, well, it really sums up everything that a guilty pleasure movie should be when it gets it right. And it's a sunny new day. Time to celebrate. So I hope you join me for that. And remember, you shouldn't feel guilty about it if it's a movie you love. I was wondering when that would happen. Kind of surprised it hadn't sooner. If it's a movie you love. I'm going to redo that. Redoing it. It's going to be a guilty pleasure movie that people really... I don't like it. I still screwed up the line. I got to redo it again. And yet, it's... Take 4.